Uh, Greetings, folks. This is BlackWeasel, and this is my video game review of Champions of Norrath for the PlayStation 2. I am joined in by my brother.
Hello.
Because the game I'm reviewing is a hack and slash role-playing game that can be played co-op as well, and he played with me, and so hence his involvement and input in this video. I got this game because I was looking online for any co-op games that I put on for the PlayStation 2, because I watched an episode of Billy and Mandy where Grimm shoved Billy and Erwin into a supernatural world where they could become real-life barbarians and wizards, because those boys were already playing video games based on wizards and barbarians. Looking back, I wondered, was there any games like this put out in real life? And so I got towards snooping around on the internet and came across 5 games that had co-op and were hack and slash role-playing games. Now this is one of them. Champions of Norrath is developed by the same company that made Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. They even upgraded the same engine to be used for Champions of Norrath. This is a hack and slash role-playing game which can be played as co-op. It takes place in the universe of EverQuest, which is an MMORPG that was played a lot by people back in 2000 to 2003. I didn't play it, but I was a heavy RuneScape player back in 2004 to 2006. Now this story is real basic and simple. There's a big-ass demon monster that's causing a whole lot of misery and mass murder onto the land of Norrath. So it's time to call upon 2 strong champions to combat this evil menace. Hence the excuse for me and the bro to do the same thing we have been doing the past 2 games, which were Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. I chose to become a barbarian warrior, which contains the highest health and strength in the game. So this is an obvious tank. And my brother picked the Dark Elf Shadow Knight, which was a mixture of basically everything at the time. It can use every weapon type available, use magic to spread disease and poison, and so they basically are in the middle. What do you like about picking the Dark Elf Shadow Knight?
Honestly, I like the Dark Elf Shadow Knight because even though the Shadow Knight itself only had really low HP, they could cast from a distance, so I could always use different spells, and I can use archery skills, summon the undead. It was pretty cool. The good thing, I can attack from a distance. Bad thing is I wasn't the tank, which I left that up to my brother.
Yeah, it's a good balance overall. Now, what sets this game apart from Baldur's Gate is the scenery, items, the pace of the game, the style of missions, and the funky taxes that monsters will be doing. I couldn't get tired of fighting and killing the monsters in one area, because as soon as I did, we were able to go on towards the next dungeon, cave, or castle floor. But these are not just the typical ones that came from the same company that made Baldur's Gate. We also go through strange environments, such as going through underwater. We travel through super hot lava areas, or even going onto the dungeon in the sky. The mission is not just slay the big boss in the room. It also requires both of us to go towards a field that contains a bunch of goblins and set fire to the catapults. So that way the good guys will be able to send their army to fight against the evil menace. Plus, it has some fetch quests here and there, which justifies going through the same regular dungeon and start killing a bunch of people just to obtain said item. Now, to make matters worse, these goblins have a bunch of shamans here and there, and these shamans were able to bring the goblins back to life. When that happened, we started aiming for the shaman so he wouldn't use any magic powers on the goblins. We couldn't just charge head-on at the bad guys as usual. We had to plan and figure out who's the bad guy, who's the first guy to strike at. For the sounds, there's awesome effects on attacking with dual weapons and using magic powers. The music is alright, but damn, the voice acting is kind of iffy. So, but we got used to it. Remember the voice acting, Mikey?
Yeah, the voice acting was really crappy. Again, it's probably okay because the game was really old.
So yeah. Anyways, one part that's really different from Baldur's Gate are the usage of gate scrolls, which can teleport me and my brother back towards the town so we can get some portions. After that, we can use the same gate scroll twice to return back to the original spot. So that's a great improvement from the last 2 games. Anyways, I'll give this game a 9 out of 10. It's a straight up recycle of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. But what gets sprinkled in are the variety of areas, useful items, different tactics of monsters, and the side requirements to move the story and gameplay forward. I played this game with my brother on December 20th, 2016, and we finished it on March 17th, 2017. It took us over 20 hours to finish this game. But yeah, any last thoughts?
No, this was the one that we couldn't jump in, right?
No. This is more emphasis on role playing, like such as kill of monsters to obtain said item and go in. There's no platforming over here, so
yeah, that was kind of the crappy thing about this game is that you couldn't really jump over enemies if you wanted to, which is.
All right. Yep. So that's it. I'm Greens, folks. This is the BlackWeasel, and this is my video game review of Baldur's Gate. The fuck? No.